guys, and welcome back to another 411 on Tech Talks. We're your hosts. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Damien.
And, we've been a little under the weather lately, so it's been a while, but we're back. We're ready to go, so let's dive right into it. So first off, let's talk about the Apple event. So that was not last week,
yeah,
right?
I think it
the
was
week before.
September 12th.
What day was that? Yeah, September 12th.
Yeah.
But obviously the hardware started coming out the end of this week.
Right, 22nd in store. Yeah.
So the two main, it was a hardware type event, right? So the two headliners were the iPhone 15 and the new Apple Watches, the Series 9 and the Ultra 2 as well.
Yeah.
So iPhone 15. So we actually went ahead and so usually we wait until our phones are like on their way out, right? Like the battery is like not really holding much of a charge
Yeah,
anymore.
we usually do,
quickly.
unless there's some big feature that we can make use of.
Yeah. So we actually have the 13 Pro Max right now, but finally, Damien.
Yes.
Thank you to EU Lols. Brought to you by EU Lols. We now have an iPhone with USB Type-C.
Yeah.
So that's really exciting. So that's kind of why we took the leap and got a phone earlier than normal. Mainly for us is data transfers. So we get a lot of content with our phones, and it can take a while sometimes.
Right.
So it's nice to have the USB Type-C. Now on the Pro models, it's USB Type-C 3, right? USB 3?
Yeah, three something, yeah.
Yeah, so you're going to get 10 gigabits per second transfer speeds. So that's going to be really
That's going to
nice.
be really good for our workflow. Yeah.
Yes. Now, just to know, if you're just thinking about getting an iPhone 15, that's just your standard USB 2. So it's pretty much the same speeds as what you were already getting with the Lightning port, which is, why we usually go Pro anyway. So, that was really nice. I'm really excited about that. I'm also wondering, and I'm probably not, but a girl can hope, is how like really large files, when we try to transfer those over, they don't even show up. And it's like I got to go through a whole situation.
Yeah, we do something with VLC player.
Yeah,
we do it that way to get it over.
It's really annoying. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe now as USB-C, the transfer speeds are a little bit,
But at least the files will show up.
Maybe they'll show up. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be good. And the phones, the 15 start at $799, 15 Plus at $899, 15 Pro $999, and the 15 Pro Max, they did away with the 128 gig, and it just starts at $256, but it's still the same price of $1199. And I think the reason why they did that is because like you can record in the ProRes now, and that takes up a lot of space.
Yeah.
But you can also connect a USB Type-C hard drive and record to that. Yeah. So that's really nice.
Yeah, that's definitely a nice feature.
That's another good feature of USB-C on these.
Yeah, so if you want to, stick with the 256, we ended up going for the 512. We're usually safer than sorry. I have 256 right now on the 13 Pro Max, and I usually don't even touch it. But it's kind of nice if like you don't want to. So I'm usually always like moving my stuff over to our NAS. So I don't always have like a ton of stuff on there, but it's nice like to not have to worry about managing it as much. And if we do start getting into this like ProRes, like using ProRes to for content creation, then we'll have that option. But yeah, I mean, to be able to, and I'm interested and excited to try other like USB attached stuff to see like if it works. And can you hook a USB Type-C hub and have like extra? Yeah, I don't know. I just want to go crazy because I'm excited.
Yeah, it's cool. I've seen you can connect like USB Type-C monitors.
Yes.
And then it's just, you can game.
Yeah, I did see that.
Game on the bigger display right off. You can just use a phone as like a controller if you want to do that.
Yeah. Now, it's not Android, but where you can do the wireless charge like another device.
Right.
But you can charge stuff with that USB-C port.
Right.
So they talked about, so they also announced the AirPods Pro 2 USB-C. So gone with the Lightning, obviously they're trying to get to the point where everything is going to be USB Type-C. But they were saying that you can charge those AirPods Pro 2 with the USB-C port on the phone.
Right.
So that's kind of nice. I mean, it's not wireless charge or whatever.
So
but
yeah, in a pinch, it's good. I think it's like 4.3, something like that.
Yeah. Now, one thing I am disappointed at, and they kind of, I feel like they dropped the ball. USB Type-C. So you have these Android phones out there. What's that one phone? I don't remember but it's like in 15 minutes, it can be like a full charge, or wasn't it like something like that?
Yeah, it's an Android phone. I don't think it's...
Was it
It might be like a Huawei, or it's not an Oppo, but one of those.
Was it Xiaomi or...
Xiaomi? It might be one of the Xiaomi, yeah. So they have much faster charging.
So it would be nice to have at least seen somewhat. I mean, I'm not looking for that quick, charging. I mean, it would be nice.
Yeah, I think what it is, Apple probably needs to do more testing with battery thermals with the fast charging and stuff like that, just to make sure that
those batteries don't blow up.
Yeah, we don't want any battery gates going on here. So they might need to do more testing with that. That's just my theory on it, why they don't have that yet. So yeah, it would have been nice to see faster charging, but we're not getting that this go round.
Yeah, hopefully in the future, but it would have been nice to see, because again, it would have been a good opportunity to do it, but maybe they were in a rush because EU laws. Although they really made it seem like, oh guys, come on, like we planned this. I mean, you got other USB Type-C. I mean, we had to do it, right? Like, it's not because we were forced.
Right. I'm looking forward to having the dynamic island, and I just think it looks better than the notch, so that's going to be kind of cool. And some of the apps has functionality with it as well.
Yeah, like when they first announced it for the 14, I was kind of looking at like, oh, this is gimmicky, like just their way of like getting away from everybody talking about the notch this, notch that. But yeah, like it's grown on me. It seems like there's a lot of functionality with it, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it.
Well, that's cool. And the new rounded edges, so it has a slightly different profile.
Yeah. It does look significantly different, but I mean, if you're like us, you're usually going to have it in a case, so you're not going to notice it as much. But if you're the type of person that
can get away with,
you're bold enough to, not have a case on your phone, then you're going to notice a difference.
Absolutely.
Also, another thing I'm really excited about is the action button.
Okay.
So again, they're kind of like, getting up to Android, level maybe.
Of customization.
Customization, yeah. So they have, in replace of the mute switch.
On the Pro model.
Yeah, this is just on the Pro.
Yeah.
You can assign that to a number of things. So like flashlight, the camera, which we'll likely do.
Right.
There was a couple other things. But you can also assign the shortcuts to. Is it shortcuts? I think it's called shortcuts. But we're like, you can basically assign any app or any kind of thing to that.
Yeah.
So again, that's where the customization really comes in. It's nice that they did that. So it's not just, oh, well, these are the allotted amount of things you can do. Like you can broaden out and kind of do, whatever you want to launch. So that's nice. A lot of people were kind of upset that there's only one function with it, so I think you just press and hold, and then that'll bring up whatever you assign to it. Some people were hoping like, oh, well, maybe if you, hit it twice and hit it 3 times, that those could be other assignments as well. I'm just happy they did it. I mean,
right. I thought the press and hold might have been the toggling on the ringer on and off. I think a long press was for that.
Yeah, but at any rate, you can only assign one action to it. You can't,
right.
You can't have multiple actions. So I know a lot of people are kind of a little bit disappointed with that. But again, I'm just happy that you could do it, and it's customizable enough where it's just not like, okay, these are the 5 things you can use with it, and that's it, or assign to it, and that's it. So.
Now they did have a new 48 megapixel main camera, which is cool.
Yeah, so I think ours is still 12 megapixels.
Yeah, so this new one will have more detailed pictures. That's nice.
Yeah, so again, we use our phones a lot for content creation, so that's another reason why we kind of wanted to go ahead and upgrade to the 15. Also, they transitioned to the titanium versus stainless steel. I guess
I think it's cool having a lighter phone.
Yeah, it's lighter.
Because it's strong. It's stronger, but at that same time lighter, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so more durable, I guess. Although it can be, some people are, so like, based on whatever color you get, it's kind of, I don't know how they call, but it's like similar. It's
favors it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the natural color of titanium. So if you like drop it and like nick it or whatever, like you're gonna see it, it'll probably be more noticeable because the natural color of titanium underneath that color or whatever, it's gonna
right.
And then you know from your Apple Watch Ultra that titanium can be
it can be scratched.
On day one, you kind of found that out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So it's not foolproof, but
right. It's not indestructible like non-scratch, but it is a more premium material than the stainless steel.
Yeah.
Also, I guess the Pro models are getting an A17 Pro chip.
Yeah, that's kind of new.
Yeah, so we're going to have like capable ray trace graphics. You can be able to play AAA games they were showing. So it kind of looked like maybe PS4 Pro or PS4 style graphics, like a console basically in your pocket. They showed Death Stranding, Resident Evil, Assassin's Creed. So if those games aren't your thing, I'm sure more stuff will be coming to Apple Arcade, and so you'll be able to play. And with the Razer Kishi kind of, device you put on there, you basically, have like a handheld.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. Yeah,
it's really exciting because it really seems like this thing might be able to be like a gaming device, but with AAA titles, not just like those rinky-dinky games on Apple Arcade that they've been. I mean, I'm sure they have some good
ones
stuff,
on there, but these are the ones that you play on the console, which is nice.
Yeah, so now like AAA titles, so that's pretty cool. I'm still gonna wait and see how that goes. But the one thing that really impressed me is that they're saying that these A17 Pro chips are within 10%. Now we're talking single core here, not multi-core, but this is still impressive. Within 10% of the i9 13900K and the 7950X.
Yeah,
that's pretty huge.
Yeah, it's pretty beefy chip there.
And then those are, I think, only 10% more performance than the A16. So even that's pretty impressive. I thought that was very exciting. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the game. Yeah, get that Kishi.
Yeah.
And be playing some games.
Yep, definitely.
So that's pretty cool. Also, another reason why we wanted to jump the gun as well and get it is you're going to be able to use them for capturing spatial content. So we do plan on getting the Apple Vision when that comes out later on this year. And like I said, it's not cheap, but it looks like you're going to need this phone to be able to take the spatial videos and stuff to use or to view in the Vision.
Yeah. So it'll take the 3D videos using two of the cameras.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty nice. From some content I'm watching on Apple Vision Pro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, like we mentioned, they announced the AirPods Pro 2 USB-C. So also with those, you're going to get better dust resistance and also lossless audio when you pair it with the Apple Vision. So that's kind of nice too. So if you want to be watching movies and stuff, which is, one of the things they really emphasize to use with the Vision, you're going to be able to get lossless audio with that.
Yeah. So they're probably going to AirPods Pro Max. Eventually those will probably USB-C and the lossless audio as well.
Yeah.
So you can hear all the lossless audio that's on Apple Music.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's pretty cool.
Currently can't do on the AirPods Pro Max.
Yeah, and one thing I wanted to mention, obviously this wasn't software stuff, but in regards to iOS 17 and like some of these AirPod features, software features that they have, I thought was actually really cool. And I didn't know about them originally, but one of them being adaptive audio. So it kind of combines active noise cancellation and transparency mode. And it's just designed to adjust the volume on what's playing based on what's around you and what your interactions throughout the day and stuff. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah. And then also this is what I really liked is conversation awareness. So it will be able to detect when you're having a conversation. So if you're just listening, say you're on the bus or whatever, and somebody talks to you, and then you start talking to them, it'll detect that and then lower the volume. So a lot of times, like you'll see, like if people are stopped and they have AirPods Pro in or whatever, they have to do the tap or whatever you do to mute it. And now you don't have to do that. It just automatically detects. So I love all this like hands-free like integration and stuff, like different things you can do without having to like use your hand or whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then also personalized volume. It adjusts the sounds on what's playing based on personal preferences and the sounds around you. So that's another thing too. So I don't know, maybe if you like we like bass, so maybe I don't know how it's going to work yet, but if it can, learn what what we like or whatever, and then adapt to that, and like that's what we get when we listen to stuff and not have to make the changes, ourselves. I think that's also pretty cool. So a lot of cool software features too with that. Obviously not just with the USB-C model, but all the AirPods Pro 2 as well.
Yep.
So moving on.
Yeah, they also had 2 watches that they released this year. So the Apple Watch 9 and the Apple Watch Ultra 2, and they have a new S9 chip, which has some performance boosts with the new processor. And they also promise 18 hours of battery life. So more battery life, that's pretty good. I know my Ultra is pretty good on battery life, so this one's a little bit better. And like the really big feature that I thought was the double tap.
Yes.
So you could, like, for instance, do a number of things, but like answering the call. It's pretty cool with that.
Yeah. So more of that hands-free functionality, which is really nice. So yeah, you just do, I think it's your thumb and your index, and you can, if you're getting a call, you can do the double tap, it'll answer. If you're done talking to the person, you can double tap. I think they also showed like you could double tap through, what are they calling it now? The widget drawer or whatever. On the Apple Watch now, you can cycle through that, a bunch of different things. So again, I love, like, if you walking in the house, then you have like a grocery bags or something, and you can't really like reach around and answer. You could just do the double tap. So I just love the hands free stuff.
Yeah, that's really pretty cool. So our next item, Amazon had a fall event, and they talked about a number of hardware, and they also had some cool software features. So they had a number of hardware releases that they talked about. They had a new Echo Show 8 for $150, and that had better spatial audio for like wider immersive sound experience.
And it had a cool feature. I forget what they called it, but it has something to do with proximity. So,
yes.
Yeah, if you're further away, it'll just give you like general information. But as you get closer to it, you approach it, it gives you like a larger amount of information.
Yeah, so they kind of demo like the weather app. When you're further away, it just kind of maybe had like something large, like maybe the temperature.
Today's forecast or something.
Yeah, the temperature. But as you got closer, you had more information showed up. Yeah.
So, that was pretty cool.
And they also, well, the coolest thing, I don't know if we say it for I'm just so excited about it, but they had Alexa is going to have AI integrated into it. So they're going to have a large language model. And Alexa, if you just say, I forget what the phrase, but I think it's like, Alexa, let's chat or something like that. You would have like a personalized conversation, and you wouldn't have to keep saying Alexa for every prompt, and it would have that large language model integrated. So, and then based on the tone of the conversation, it would change like the emotion of the conversation. So that's going to be cool. I don't think they said what devices that's coming to. It'll be all the Alexa enabled devices or not. Sorry, I'm hoping I'm not triggering anybody's Alexa devices.
As he says the word again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They were kind of like, they kind of talked about it, but they
They didn't say if it was going to be locked to the new hardware or not.
Yeah, I mean, now, granted, like AI is not new to Amazon, but trying to get closer to that, you know,
Yeah, well,
what
I think
Chat GPT and stuff can do.
yeah. Also, like all the smart assistants, like Siri, the A word, the Google Assistant, they're all trying to leverage like AI in them to make their assistants have the smarts of these chat bots. So I'm all for that. You get better information, more conversational. It's just going to be more efficient.
Yeah.
Oh, it's A word. Let's chat. That's how you trigger it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, like you said, I don't. How soon are they going to integrate it? I don't think they really said.
Yeah, they didn't
And then,
say.
like you said, what devices? But yeah, I mean, now that you have ChatGPT and
Google Bard.
Bing and all that stuff, like it's like these assistants now, they just seem stupid. I'm just gonna, so I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, so they had to do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Or that's why they're doing it. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to being able to, now we have to go into. I mean, I have the app. You still have to get the app, but I it makes it easier to access. Like I just pull up the app on my phone and I can start chatting with, ChatGPT, or you go to the website, but it'd be so much easier and nicer. Again, hands free to just say, hey, you know who,
Yeah.
and to just talk to it with your voice. Like
Yep.
So that's cool.
So back to the Echo Show 8, they upgraded the display, camera, and the microphones, and obviously the speakers, like I mentioned, for that spatial audio. And you talked about that proximity sensing, so it changes the UI based on how close you are. And then they also had a Amazon Fire Stick 4K, upgraded one of those with upgraded processing and things, and that's available for $49.99 for pre-order. And they had a sound bar that they had some updates to that as well.
And then also they were talking about a new tablet coming out, the Fire Max 11. But what I thought was interesting about this is they call it eye gaze, so it's like an accessibility feature, but it allows you to like look at the tablet, the eye tracking. So like with the PlayStation VR 2, right? I don't know if it's going to be that good, but apparently it's like, I think predefined like actions, like listening to music and stuff like that. You'll be able to trigger just by looking at it on the tablet. So I thought that was pretty cool. Even, if you're not using it for accessibility, just like for ease of use, I thought would be pretty cool. So.
Yeah. And they had the Echo Frames 2 release. And so it's like the first update to it in a while. And this one's like even sleeker, so it doesn't look like you're wearing like smart glasses. And they teamed up with Carrera, which is a huge like eyewear company, to have Alexa integrated and some sunglasses there. Yeah. So, and it looks pretty interesting for like media consumption and things like that.
Yeah, we never got the first one. I don't know if we would. I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
I'm not sure what the use case. I'd be willing to try it. If Amazon wants to send us one in for review, and
Amazon.
Yeah, see how we might be able to use that in, enhancing efficiency in our life and things like that, and media consumption.
Yeah, and then the price, I think they said like $260. It starts at like $269 or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was like more for the Carrera ones. And,
I'm sure. Yeah.
Let me see if I can get that price. I mean, it's not.
I think
it's not like $100, but
no, I think they started at $269. But then obviously it's probably going to depend on
Echo Frames. So it starts at $270.
Okay, yeah.
And the Carrera ones with sunglasses are $390. So yeah, not like super affordable, but you know,
for those prices, I'd be wearing them like regularly.
Yeah, 6 hours of continuous media playback. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like non-smart glasses, Carrera, I mean, they can already get up into
they can
that.
get up there. Yeah, I have a pair of sunglasses, 200, and
Yeah.
they're not smart.
Yeah, so it's kind of nice to have that built-in functionality, and they still look like regular glasses. So whether you use it or not, it's
Yeah, and they're saying like better audio clarity with less distortion, and to be, if you're on like a plane or something,
yeah.
those things, it's not bad.
All right, so next up, I think it was last week. Was it last week? I've been sick for like weeks now, so like all the
it's
weeks
all like
are just
one
kind
big week,
of rolling into each other. But yeah, recently Asus released the Z1 model, so the non Z1 Extreme ROG Ally. So if you've been holding off to try to get the cheaper model, I think my recommendation though is, unless you plan on like you're really big, or you have like games that you really want to play on like Xbox Game Pass and Epic and stuff like that, where you would need like a Windows handheld, I would say just get a Steam Deck, or save up if you do want to play those kind of games on Xbox and all that. Try to save up another $100, because I just don't think it's worth it. So it's $100 cheaper than the Z1 Extreme. And they're saying it's about 30 to 37% slower performance. So,
yeah,
I just don't know if I can recommend it.
Yeah, like for like $100, it was like 15% or 10% less. I would say go for it, but you're losing like a third of the performance. So the frame rates are gonna, instead of like playing at like 30 frames, you might be playing at like 19, or
which is basically unplayable
or something like that, depending on the title.
Right.
I guess the battery, like maybe the processor isn't as intensive. You might be able to get a little bit better battery life, but like 100, like I don't think it'll be $100.
Yeah. And go ahead.
I'm not sure where I was going with that, but I just don't think the battery life will be a lot better.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So.
And the Steam Deck keeps on getting more and more upgrades. I think recently it's in beta right now, but it's
Steam OS 3.5.
Yeah,
it's like the next big update.
So better performance and improvements with external displays and stuff like that. So Steam Deck keeps on getting better. I mean,
yeah, and they had like a sale on it recently where it was like 20% off.
Yeah,
of the devices. So unless you need, like Michelle said, the Microsoft Game Pass or the Epic Store or something like that, I would definitely, think about going Steam Deck.
Yeah.
If like Epic, GOG, or anything, like if you don't need that, and you don't need the 120 hertz screen, which you can't really hit that on a lot of games unless they're like really like lighter games anyway. So, I mean, the adaptive display is pretty nice as far as keeping your frame, everything smooth and like that. But if you don't really need that and you just lower the settings down on the Steam Deck, I think that's a better value for you.
And the Steam Deck is it's so amazing. It's almost like, I don't know, like how they. So I think it was a recent game. I think it might have been Starfield, and right away the Steam Deck was on it. Like the game could play. It was playable on the Steam Deck. On the ROG Ally, there was issues.
Yeah,
and that's more powerful. But
they had to work out some issues. Yeah, so definitely the community and the development of Steam Deck it's in a pretty good place.
Yeah. So to the ROG Ally Z1, we say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's our quick hot take. And then one thing I wanted to mention before we end is, I just recently got a drone. So I've been wanting a drone for a while now. So I went ahead and I got the DJI Air 3. So I'm really excited about that. I just started using it. We actually have a video on our YouTube channel, 411 on Tech. So if you're interested in that and my whole first experience, I give a lot of beginner recommendations and stuff like that. But I've been having a lot of fun, and it's a really great drone. Like I was kind of going between that and the Mavic 3 Pro, and I'm actually really glad I went for the Air 3. It was like $1,100 cheaper, but like the image quality is still great. And again, I just been having a lot of fun with it. I want to get out there and spend some more time with it, and then maybe we can do a full review. But if you're interested, check out our YouTube channel that we just posted on that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I flew it for a brief amount of time too, and it was
A lot easier than you
pretty
expected.
easy to fly, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I think that's it.
Yeah, so that's going to do it for this 4-in-1 on Tech Talks, guys. Please do remember to like, favorite, and subscribe. Tell your friends, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.